If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
So guys, how many of you have already set up the business application studio in your BTP account? Okay. And the person who has not done it, please raise your hand. People are facing any issues, please raise your hand so that we can understand, and we are going to start, because today we are going to have a deep dive further inside the BS part of it. Only one person? Team? Okay. Anybody who has not configured business application studio, okay, or having any issues in terms of BTP BS, please raise your hand so that we will come to know. Guys, all others are fine. They already have a setup. Please unmute. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Probably we'll spend 5 to 10 minutes just to see the issues. Anurag, maybe you can share your screen quickly. That's good. Only two people are having issues, but yeah, we'll quickly check it out. It should not take much time.
It's loading only actually.
Yeah. Jairam, you also please open the BS. Have you set up, Jairam, the S user ID BS BTP setup have done, or business application studio is pending? Jairam, Anurag, are you working from office?
Yes, I'm working from office. That's why net is slow.
Jairam, you back?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jairam, have you set up the BTP part of it? Did you register?
Actually, it is changing for mobile number. It is already signed up, so I'm.
But you can try to use
number.
another Gmail ID, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'm doing that.
Yeah, please do that. Otherwise, today we are going to start a couple of commands also, and we also want you to know, all of us, to when we are executing it, or we also try it out, so you will have some kind of confidence as well. And guys, how many of you are comfortable with the business application studio? Okay, because you already have a training on Fiori side of it, so I'm not sure. Are you guys comfortable on BS, or are you guys comfortable on only on web ID? So people who are comfortable with the business application studio, please raise your hand. Guys, please let me know. Was that training inside the web ID or business application studio, the earlier part?
Chintan Brajas here. I had a training on this web ID actually. I did not use much this BS actually. So.
Okay.
I was not a part of the previous training, but I am aware that in the previous training they had used BS and not Web ID. So I think
Okay.
all the associates who are 1+ year experienced who are in this session, they all have some idea of BS but not Web ID.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Thank you, Swapnil. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you continue over here because the connection is very slow. I'm unable to connect. If I get a connection, surely I will connect with you.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
An issue over here in the office. Very slow.
What is all that you remember from yesterday's session? How did we go to the BAS? Can anyone tell me the process? How did we launch the BAS? Was it from a global account level? Was it from a sub account level?
So basically it is from sub-level account actually. We need to create a database and there from there actually we can launch it.
Can you just repeat, Brijesh?
Yeah, actually, it is based on this sub account. Actually, in sub account, for sub account, we have to create a dev space, and from the dev space, we can launch that BAS actually.
Okay, so I'm just sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see the screen. Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so right now we are onto this global account level. Now once we are onto the global account, we can go to the sub account level, and from here we are launching the business application studio from the subscription of a service, because everything that you have under your BTP account is a software as a service. Okay, so even though your business application studio is a software, it is available to you as a service and it needs to be subscribed. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
everything, whatever you have under your business application studio is in the form of a service. Okay, now in case if I am launching my business application studio, okay, and I'm not able to see, or if I'm getting the authorization error, at which level I'll be able to assign the roles?
In security.
Okay, under the security,
Security, yes.
Swapnil it is, right?
Yeah.
Swapnil, can you be a bit louder, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Under security,
Yeah. I think it was under security roles. I don't remember users or roles.
okay.
Mhm. Yeah, it's in roles in security.
Okay, under the security, under the users, for each of the users I'll be able to see it over inside here, right?
Yeah.
Under the role collection. In case if you want to group all of the roles, what you can do is you can have a custom role of your own, where you can create a role as well, and then you can assign it to the user as well. Okay, depending on to the type of a configuration that you need, and what is the purpose of the
Role
connectivity.
collection.
Yeah. What is the minimum space that is given to each of the dev space into the trial environment?
Like 4 GB actually.
It's a 4 GB. Okay. What is the quota?
Quota is basically maximum number of access which we can have for particular application or something.
Okay. Now let's assume that I am onto the global account. Now, is it necessary that the the global account will be utilizing all the quota, or will it be distributed onto the sub account level? How is the distribution? Let's go to the sub global account. Okay, now I have two sub accounts. How is the distribution of a quota onto this level? How is the quota distribution? Okay, so on to the entitlements, we will be having the service assignments, and on see the quota assignment is there. On depending on the hyperscalers that you would be using, you would be having some plans. Okay, so whether it is a standard plan, whether it is a free plan, if you want to know more about it, you can still go to the discovery center. You first have to find out whether it is available onto which environment, because onto your sub account level, if you go, it is available onto the provider. Okay, it is onto the AWS provider, it is onto the Azure. Now if I create one more, there is a possibility that if you go to the Singapore region, okay, if I go to the Singapore region, then what are the services that are available, or whether I am able to assign that services, or whether I am able to consume that kind of a service, it depends on to the region as well. So the assignment of a quota is a different thing. The consumption that is available is also based on to the providers that you have. Till here, is it clear? Do you have any other questions on to this part? What are the 3 states into which your dev space would be available? What are the status?
It's a stopping, running, and starting actually. So that status.
Okay. Can I edit the or can I add the extension when my application is into the running stage?
No, we
Sorry,
cannot.
running state?
No, we cannot.
Oh, no. We cannot, right? Can I download my entire dev space?
Yes, I guess. Yes.
We can download it.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I change the name of my dev space?
No, you cannot do it.
We cannot, right? So these are some of the questions. Yes, was it?
Here, when we download the dev space, so actually what it will download will be the configuration file, or whatever projects we have, it will download. What it will download.
Aditya, it is right. Can you just be a bit louder? Your voice is very feeble.
I'm asking, when we are downloading the dev space, then what it will download?
It will download the entire content of whatever the projects that you have. It would be into the form of a .tar or .gz.
Okay, and if then I want to import it again in somewhere else, then
What you have to do is you have to create an empty dev space. If you are able to import it, then you can do it. But there is a limitation that the project, sorry, let's say if I have 2 dev spaces, one is onto let's say A system and one is onto the B system. I've downloaded it from A system and I want to import it to the B system. It just works like a normal project import and export how you do. But when you are importing it, it should be empty.
okay.
That is basically, but we don't have to manually do it, because whatever the projects that we have inside the dev spaces, it could be transported to another system with the help of a transport management system, which is also available as a one of the features. 1 minute. Here we have a cloud transport management, okay, where we can just transport the application specific content and even the development artifacts, just like we have it into normal ABAP systems, the workbench request and the customizing request, right? We have the transport management system onto the normal ABAP systems also. So they will capture all of your objects that you are creating. And but here, when you have it into the cloud, you can use this transport management systems. It is also a kind of a service.
Okay. Thank you.
Chintan, do you have questions?
See how many languages we can utilize inside the business application studio.
It depends on the environment that we have. Right? We can have Fiori or the HANA Cloud.
No problem. Are you?
Okay. And how can I connect BS with my on-premise systems? Right.
Cloud connector.
Okay. And if I want to do my HANA Cloud programming, right, the procedures inside the HANA Cloud, uh, whether I can do it inside the uh, business application studio, or what are the ways I need to go? Okay. Fine. No problem. Okay. So when we deploy our sorry, there's some coffee. When we have the HANA Cloud instance activated, right? So it would be a different instance. It would be an instance which is sitting inside the space of it, the sub account of it. And when we log into that one, right, at that moment, it will give us HANA Cloud. The instance will give us the different editor where we can do the coding inside of it. Okay, so it's a different thing. Fine, guys. Do you have any questions from the yesterday's sessions, or are we good to start now? Okay, maybe we'll start with this. Yeah, sorry. Okay, fine. I'll share my. Yeah, Vishal.
Yeah. So I have a question about the transport management in bus. So, so if I am creating certain artifacts using Eclipse Studio, okay, can we leverage it here? Can we like a CDS view, or I'm doing something in Eclipse? Can it be used here and I've created transport here, or how the transport management will happen? Because some of the artifacts are in Eclipse and rest of the things are in bus.
Okay,
Is it
so
even possible?
Vishal, but why would you like to create inside the Eclipse now?
I think pretty much everything we can do here, right? What we could do it in Eclipse. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Okay, we have the Business Application Studio as an editor. Okay, which we can try to leverage, and we have the HANA Studio, HANA editors also. Okay, inside the um, BTP side of it. Okay.
Correct.
So if we can create everything inside the BTP, why would you like to
Yeah.
utilize the third party system, right?
Correct.
So yeah, so that is one way to look at it. When you have
Yeah.
answered, your question is valid, right? In terms of, let's say I have a Visual Studio also, right? So SAP is not only we have many people are using the Visual Studio also in order to create the front end coding. Okay, but if you are using the
Yeah.
Visual Studio, in that case, you still need to deploy your applications to your Cloud Foundry, and it deployment will be done directly from the Visual Studio. Okay, so at the end, your Cloud Foundry applications has your all the content deployment is also there. Okay, and for BTP, for CAPM and Fiori, the code would be residing inside the repository. We can push the code over to Git repository, or if you have the Azure setup, right? Azure development DevOps, right? In that case, we can also push our codes to the Azure DevOps repositories. Okay, so code will be inside the repository, and that repository we can migrate from one sub accounts to another sub accounts. Okay, and we can also use the pipeline also for that one. Aditya. Sorry, Vishal. Vishal was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if at all we are reusing something created in Eclipse, I mean maybe some old artifact which is already there, so we can still use it inside BAS, right? Maybe it's like a function module that we reuse. It
But
might be
how
a
will you?
standard
Okay, what
or
kind of
custom.
objects will you try to create inside the
Uh,
HANA Studio or Eclipse?
most mostly I'm looking at some kind of a CDS view or which someone has developed and I'm trying to use it
Okay,
for Fiori apps.
yeah.
So
So
I'm
that is
consuming
what
that.
the CDS views, right? It has to have a uh, either ABAP environment, or it has to have the S4 HANA system, or
Correct.
maybe Gateway 7.5 onwards. Okay, Gateway version
Okay.
7.5 onwards. There has to be. So yeah, because CDS is you are trying to create inside the application layer.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Correct. Yes.
No, CDS we don't create inside the application layer, right? We always create the DB
It's
layer.
a database layer.
Yeah, DB
CDS.
layer.
Yeah.
But when are we using that CDS layer? That is always in application layer, or we direct generally we also expose the CDS via odata.publish equal to true, right?
Hmm.
So
Correct.
the idea of CDS, okay, you have a backend system, okay, and you want to have more processing on inside the backend side of it.
Right.
So that above CDS will not work inside the BS. Okay, I mean the Cloud Foundry side of it. It will work inside the above environment side of it. Vishal, there is a difference. Okay,
Yeah.
one is the above CDS, another one is the HANA CDS.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, fine. We can start with
Yeah.
the yeah. Is it clear or?
Yeah. It's clear.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Guys, can you see my screen?
Yeah. Visible.
Yeah. So we have region, applications, services, data, environment, infrastructure, and inside the environment we have the runtime environment. So when you deploy your applications, okay, so that applications will be running in that environment itself. The processing will power be utilized by that data center itself. The services, it will be your applications will be accessible as a services part of it. And if you want to check it out, right, what something has been failed, something has been right, so all the tools are available to check it out, the services deployed, or any kind of issues also. Okay, so we have infrastructure services, we have database services, we have integration services, right? So in as part of the infrastructure services, what do we have? Okay, so we have computing powers, we have storage also, we have networking also, right? So if you want to connect your system, your BTP with the multiple third-party systems, okay, I will just try to showcase couple of examples directly from Google. Yeah, I can try to do that. Hold on. SAP BTP DocuSign integration. Uh, okay, so okay, forget about this part. Okay, but let's say your user is using some kind of application that is trying to connect to here. Okay, and we have various services by which we will be able to understand the who is that person, what kind of authentication he has is, and what kind of authorization the person has it. Okay, that can person can connect within the BTP. We have Within the BTP, we have the HANA Cloud database instance also. Okay, so whatever the data, would you like to try it out, right? And here probably we are missing the Adobe service because we generally generate the forms. Okay, and then we can send these forms to the DocuSign system. DocuSign is the third-party system by which it will help us to create a digital signature part of it. And when it will DocuSign frameworks also leverage, also have a flexibility to be consumed by the APIs also. Okay, so you can send this document, you can get some kind of token number, the document ID. Okay, and it will, within the e-signature we can also create it can be, mail can be triggered to the respective person in which he will get the PDF. Okay, and he can directly sign on. Okay, so you do not have to wait for anything. The system will, and only once the person has been signed, okay, you will get the, you can keep hitting the DocuSign systems. Okay, when the person is document is signed, you can check it out with the document ID. Yes, this document ID has been approved or not, right? If it is been signed, you will get the notification. And once the document is signed, you can get the document. If you want to store it somewhere within the BTP, outside the BTP, yes, we can do that, right? And we can do the further processing of it. So it's like, you have received one document for signature. Okay, you just signed it, and the further processing will happen. So there is no follow up required in any of the steps. Okay, and even if you want to store that document post, once you sign the document, if somebody needs to be notified it, okay, it can be done. Okay, and here they are using the connectivity services, which can also be, we can also use the open connectors also. Okay, so this is one of the good diagram, I thought. This is also good one. It is from the Discovery Center itself. Okay, so here we have it, right? We have Fiori applications. Okay, we have Android, iOS specific applications can also be built, right? And our applications are also flexible, which can run on any of the devices, right? So and once you user logins to native applications or Fiori applications, right? uh, it will be connected to the portal service. Okay, and we, whatever the development what we are doing here, okay, this is a SAP Cloud Platform. Within that we have Cloud Foundry environment here, and within that, we have a, here we have the SAP Business Application Studio, where user will create it, the developers will create the applications or modify it, they will deploy it. Okay, once the application has been deployed, okay, it can be a you can configure inside the portal service and launchpad service. Okay, and you can expose it. So here user is coming from portal service to the Cloud Foundry runtime part of it. Okay, and once that is there, right, we have a HANA instance here. This is probably a bit old diagram, okay, because we can see HANA instance, okay, not HANA cloud part of it. And we have connectivity services. Connectivity services can help us to integrate with any kind of SAP cloud portfolio, SuccessFactors, C4C, Fieldglass, Concur, right? We can also connect with the non-third party system also, Alibaba, AWS, Azure. These all are the hyperscalers, GCP. Okay, and if you want to connect, if client has been running in some systems which is a legacy systems, right? Okay, non-SAP systems like maybe VB, Oracle, something else, right? We can also connect with the third-party system also, just like the hyperscalers. Not only the hyperscaler we can connect, we can also connect with the legacy systems. And if you would like to connect with the SAP portfolio, okay, in that case you already know, we can create the cloud connector, we can configure it. Okay, and it will be a secret tunnel between the destinations connectivity service and the cloud connector, and you can utilize okay, as for HANA system, ECC systems, and multiple non-SAP system also can be connected. Okay, here I said third party system, here is also third party. Somebody would like to say something?
No, continue.
Okay, okay, thank you. So here when I'm saying third party systems, okay, when you connect with a DocuSign, you don't need a cloud connector, okay. But when you connect with the maybe some systems which are behind the VPN, right, which are not on cloud, okay, in that case it's preferable to go with the cloud connector side of it, okay, and we can connect the system. So as for HANA, multiple SAP systems, even one BTP account, the one Fiori applications can talk with the multiple SAP systems, multiple cloud systems also, and we can get the data and we can process the data over here. Guys, this is important. Is this clear? Guys, give at least some signs, okay? Sometimes I feel like I'm only the speaking and people are not paying attention.
Yeah, it's
Hello?
clear.
Yes, yeah. See, this is important because the people who are creating the architecture diagram, they will know, right, how we need to proceed further, what is the possibilities, what we have it. Okay, fine. And whenever user will log in, right? So first of all, it will be validated that the person is authorized or not. If he's not authorized, he will not be able to log in, and if he's authorized, it will be taken further. Okay, yeah. So this is just I want to touch upon this point. Okay, so this is about the networking and the data architecture data flow part of it. Database and data management service. Okay, we already have seen the data multiple services. Okay, I'm not trying to go inside the depth of it. Okay, and we do have integration services, and it will help us to integrate uh, to one or multiple other systems and the application. Okay. Okay, this is a little bit bigger topic which we are going to cover today in depth. Okay, but still I would like to take it up. Uh, when do we use the Cloud Foundry runtime? Okay, this is a very clear-cut snapshot what we have. Okay, so when platform managed load balancing, routing, and health check and security updates, we have it. Okay, free choice of programming models. Okay, and open source technology components and multi-cloud deployments. Okay, and when we go with the schema part of it, it's a free choice of programming models, combine microservice and serverless functions. Okay, bring in built-in managed service mesh. Okay, so event mesh and couple of services are built in here. This is both are open source part of it. Okay, this is more scalable. Okay, we have it. Cloud Foundry is not as much scalable as compared to Kima, but when you compare the Cloud Foundry with the Neo environment, Cloud Foundry is more scalable. Okay, so Neo wasn't more scalable. Cloud Foundry is much more scalable, but Kima is the next level of it. Okay, and when you see the skills here, right? So it is using for SAP CDS. When I say CDS, here it means the HANA Cloud part of it. Okay, HANA Cloud part of it, Fiori UI5, SAP HANA expertise. Okay, and the Node.js can also be leveraged here. We can do that. Okay, but when we go with the Kima is the container-based concept which is coming from Kubernetes. Okay, and Kubernetes is the product of Google, and Kubernetes has been developed in a Go language. Okay, so this is a both are containers. Okay, but this is much more flexible, and it allows any other programming languages also which is restricted inside the Cloud Foundry also. Okay, and schema has been introduced for mainly from the microservices point of view. Can we do the microservices concept inside the Cloud Foundry? Yes, we can do it. Okay, with the medium to low part of it. Okay, but schema is really fully mature product, and it is mainly built for the microservices and the serverless functionalities only. And Google has been using this, heavily on this because it's their native product. Okay. And when we talk about the above environment, okay, it is only and only for the, see, it's clearly called out, okay, above RESTful programming models reuse existing on-premise above assets, right? So whatever we have on-premise, if we need to create some kind of above coding inside the cloud part of it, we can try to leverage this part. Okay, here in above environment we cannot do any kind of Fiori UI5 or maybe any other Node.js coding. We cannot do Python coding. We cannot do. Okay, the using of the advantage of using this environment would be if you have lot of custom development. Okay, inside the S4 HANA system for your client. And what SAP is trying to say, keep your core clean. Okay, in that case, we can try to recreate or maybe migrate, okay, with the help of tools. Okay, our above code which is inside the on-premise, we can try to migrate to the cloud side of it, and once we can try to migrate, and whatever the new codings which we are going to do, that we can do inside the above part of it, because you will get a lot of people who are working on above rather than the people who are working in Node.js from the SAP domain, right? Because we have a lot of above developers, we have it in the market, right? So that will help us a lot. This is the user-centric process extensions. Here in the above environment, if you would like to try it out, the calling the BAPI body, right, and the RSC function modules, you can directly call it out. That is possible with this one. Okay, from the Cloud Foundry runtime, you cannot directly call the function modules directly. Okay, which is the native S4 HANA on-premise systems function modules. Okay, and user-centric process extensions, robust and transactional cloud applications, because this itself is cloud. Okay, so whatever code you are going to put it will be inside the cloud part of it. And even the above code, whatever you are writing inside the above environment, it is going to be, we have to push it inside the repository. Okay, it can be a Git, it can be some other repository, but we can push it. So if we can do the versioning, we can do the mapping, and if even the multi people are working on the same objects, okay, so we can have the feature branch for each of the developers, which we can try to merge, and we can push it to the main branch of the repository. Okay, so migrate and adapt the add-ons to the cloud, enabling the above developers to go on the cloud, right? So that is also one of the SAP's agenda, that the even the SAP, more developers from the SAP side should go from on-premise to the cloud development side of it. That will help the SAP a lot. An ability to write the modern above code, SAP CDS. Okay, and when we say about this one, it is mainly from the SAP above CDS. Okay, SAP Fiori and SAP HANA. Okay, fine. I'll move to the next part of it. Fine, we have Cloud Foundry, ABAP environment, Kima, and Neo. Okay, Neo we are going to discuss, and even this environments which we are going to discuss more in a detailed part of it. Okay. As we are talking about ABAP, right? We'll just talk. We'll take this part. The ABAP environment is mainly targeted in the creating the extensions applications. Okay. So you can use the ABAP environment to create the CDS views, okay, and with the help of annotations, okay, within a 1 or 2 hours also you can create the Fiori applications and you can try it out. Okay, so that is the advantage ABAP environment is trying to provide. Otherwise, what will happen? See, you guys already taken the Fiori applications training, right? So we need to create the OData service, then you need to configure the we need to configure the cloud connector destinations. Okay, the Fiori person will consume the services and they will build the Fiori application with some kind of templates, right? So this is the overall time is taking. But if you already have the ABAP environment and the data inside the HANA side of it, in that case, you can create the Fiori applications of CRUD operations. When I say CRUD, create, update, treat, and delete. Okay, all the operations within couple of hours. Okay, you can create applications by yourself. You do not have to wait on anybody else. Okay, and it is faster also because the processing, process is happening inside your cloud, data is inside the cloud, and your application is also sitting inside the cloud, right? So that is much more faster. Okay, and yes, okay, I missed this point, right? So when you are having the S4 HANA cloud, which provides extensions or development in S4 HANA cloud, okay, versus on-premise S4 HANA, both are very different, right? In on-premise one, you can do anything what you want to do, but S4 HANA cloud, it is the restrictive in terms of develop extensions part of it. Okay, we can create the new objects, but we cannot extend anything the way we want to have it, just like what we can do, what is the possibility inside the on-premise system. It is not there. Okay, so if you want to do any kind of extensions, it is always preferable, okay, that when you try to leverage the above environments, you can try to connect with the S4 HANA cloud instance. You can do your development and you can deploy your stuff there. Well, I will take a pause here. If any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, fine.
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
So I'm trying to get the difference between the first one, Cloud Foundry, and ABAP environment. So you mentioned like we cannot call the RFCs in Cloud Foundry. Then what will be the alternative? Like if we want to get some data from our on-premise system, and also why means these two? I'm not getting the exact difference between the Cloud Foundry and ABAP environment.
Okay, sure, Aditya. So Aditya, it is very crystal clear difference we have it. Okay, when you want to do ABAP coding inside the BTP, you have to go ahead with the ABAP environment. Okay, and when you want to do any kind of coding inside the CAPM programming, if you want to go ahead, or if you want to do any kind of normal Fiori applications coding, right? Then in that case you have to go ahead with the Cloud Foundry side of it. Okay, in Cloud Foundry environment we cannot leverage the out of the box function modules whatever we are having. Okay, directly we cannot call it to the backend systems. If we need to call it, then what we need to do traditional way, right? We can create the OData service. Okay, we can create the and we can consume that OData service inside the Fiori, and we can try to proceed further. But in from ABAP environment, we can create the connection and we can try to leverage the all the RFC FMs. We can try to leverage it there. Okay, which are the whitelisted. Okay, and ABAP environment will not give us the flexibility to use the Node.js, Java, or any even the few UI5 coding also. It will not allow us to do that because it is not built for that purpose. Uh, is that clear or?
Okay, and about the extensions, like normally we do enhancements, then what is the possibility here about the extensions?
Okay, so I'll put it in this way, right? See, whatever extensions, okay, when you say enhancement, there is two kinds of enhancement, right? Implicit and explicit enhancement. Okay, so it has to be done. Okay, when you do the enhancement, it has to be done inside the on-premise systems, right? Okay, but when we talk about the extensions, what does it mean, right? Let's say you are getting some data from your function module. Okay, you are processing further, you are calling another function module, and you are still processing and transforming your data, and you are passing that data back to the you are adding some more fields. Okay, and you are passing that data back to the Fiori application. Okay, so but if you are going with the ABAP environment, okay, you can directly do all this kind of transformations using the and consumptions of the function modules within the ABAP environment itself. Okay, and if you would like to go ahead with the CF environment, in that case somebody has to create the OData service, and that OData service will do all this kind of operations inside the on-premise system, inside the OData service, the extension classes, and then the final result set has to be exposed to the front end side of it.
Okay, means suppose if I want to add any field in sales order, any Z custom field, then it would be possible, but I need not change in the table structure level. Is it so?
No, table structure changes would be table structure changes if you want to do, you have to do in both the cases, right?
Yeah, so that will happen on premise, right? On premise
Yeah.
system, yeah. So we'll do that Z field addition to standard structure, like order table or something. And then the coding part of it. So one is a table enhancement, basically. You extend the table by a couple of fields, custom fields. So that will happen on on-premise system. And for the other part of it, like updating those fields, for that we'll write a OData service. So will it be, can it be written in ABAP environment? Or do we need to write it in the GUI, like on-premise system, and then
Okay.
expose it to ABAP? So
Okay,
that's, I think,
there are two ways to look at it. Okay, so if we
yeah.
have that table inside the ABAP environment, we can directly consume it and we can process it further. Okay, but if
Okay.
that table does not reside inside the BTP, okay, for some reason, okay, in that case, the extension has to be done inside the on-premise system only, because when you say the table extensions, you mean that we also need to have the data inside the table. Okay, and the data has to be reside somewhere. Okay, so if it is not in ABAP side or BTP side, it has to be inside the HANA on, sorry, SAP on-premise side of it. Okay, and we can process this further. What I mean to say, ABAP environment also provides the storage space where we can create the tables, and here we can also it will also help us to provide the processing power which can process the ABAP code also. Okay, so whatever you are doing inside the on-premise part of it, the custom coding, instead of that, you will pull all the part, the ABAP custom code and the processing logic, we can put it inside the ABAP environment. And okay, if you want to process some more fields, okay, you can always process more fields and bring the data, and you can proceed it further. You really do not need any kind of processing logic to be kept inside the on-premise side of it.
Okay.
Okay, I would give you another example. Let's say, see, I have some Fiori applications in which I am using some state or country names. Okay, so in that case, or maybe some, based on certain parameters, I know I got some requirement from the customer that I need to do some kind of calculations. Okay, so all the kind of calculations I can keep it inside the ABAP environment also only. Okay, I do, if ABAP environment is not there, okay, either in that case probably I may have to reach out to the backend system to do the processing part of it. Aditya, am I confusing you more, or are you getting it?
No, it's okay. I'm getting. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, right. So ABAP objects we can leverage inside the ABAP environment, and when we have the S4 HANA cloud, which is restricted in terms of custom development, okay, so we can do the custom development with the ABAP environment, and we can always connect with the S4 HANA cloud to get the data, transactional data, and we can take it forward. Okay, so we can do the applications, we can create the applications based on the ABAP environment and the S4 HANA cloud, the multi-system environment, we can do it. Okay, and yeah, next is fine. So it's about customer base and enterprise readiness and transition to the cloud, right? Because a lot of customers over the period are having a lot of code in in on-premise side of which we can try to migrate from on-premise to cloud, right? Second thing is ABAP is a proven environment for enterprise ready because it's been there for a quite long time now, and SAP is also suggesting keep the core clean, so try to move all your code from on-premise to cloud side of it. And when we are moving from S4 HANA on-premise to S4 HANA cloud, okay, so because S4 HANA cloud having the less possibility for the extensions of it within the systems, we can always try to use the ABAP environment to do any kind of extension inside the S4 HANA cloud, and we can take it forward. Okay, so yeah, transform your existing ABAP assets to the cloud. Information platform, develop and run innovative ABAP applications inside the platform as a service inside the cloud. Newest version, newest HANA versions, and newest BTP services, right? So because ABAP environment is there, which is on BTP, so we can always try to leverage the because it is on cloud, any kind of new offerings by SAP is there inside the ABAP environment, which we can try to leverage it, right? Because it is on cloud, SAP itself will push the newer version directly, okay? And it is always using the SAP HANA as a database. So whatever the new database versions are there, which we can try to leverage of it, and the new services which we can try to have it, okay? And what does okay here also it's coming as a keep clean core concept. Okay, so decouple your core business systems. Okay, SAP on-premise or SAP S/4HANA cloud is there. Okay, have it for your only the transactional data, or maybe purchase order, process order, and other process side of it. All your extensions, all your custom codings, everything keep it inside the BTP. Okay, and this is more of a across the environment. This is suitable actually. Okay, so reduce the upgrade cost. Okay, because when you migrate from S4 HANA maybe 1610 to 1709, maybe to 2020 something, right? So in that case, when you are migrating it, right, upgrading your systems, in that case, if you do not have much custom coding, it would be really go smooth, because all your custom code inside the cloud, and when cloud is getting migrated, okay, it is always the newer version will always have the uh, acceptability of the old versions of it. It will not directly get away with that. Okay, so that should not be any kind of issue. And so your turnaround time for the upgradations, it will be very less. Okay, and delegate the cloud integration scenarios to the cloud hub. Okay, and delegate non-ERP user roles like consumers to the cloud solutions. So this is what we have. Okay, so this is the overall part of it. So here we have a SAP BTP cockpit, SAP Fiori tools. Okay, and ABAP environment we have it. The coding of an ABAP environment we can do inside the Eclipse, right? And we can push the code inside the ABAP environment, and we have a connectivity with the cloud solutions and cloud web APIs, DocuSign, maybe Bartender. We have Salesforce also, right? And we have on-premise systems also. It is already there, and which we can, as it is being consumed inside the BTP. We can also try to leverage the another BTP services also. Fine, here we are completing the session part of it. Probably I'll hand it over for the demo part of it now. Yamini, to you.
I just assume that everyone is available with their business application studios.
Guys, whatever we are going to do, right? We wish you also try it out by yourselves. Okay, so it would be easy. Because see, we just don't want to bombard with the theoretical part of it, but unfortunately starting couple of days we have a theory, and gradually we are trying to move to the practical side of it. But whatever commands line, what we are trying to use inside the CLI, inside the BS, we wish you also try it out. So we are just asking you, be ready with the BS part of it. Yeah.
Yes, Anurag.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I am not able to configure the things itself. Over in the
Okay.
office, it is not slow, that much slow, it is not loading yet.
Okay. Let's
So,
do one thing. Start sharing your screen. Maybe I'll try to help you out because we should all be onto the same page. First, open your Google Chrome.
this thing is going like this one. You want a
This
new
is
window?
Edge. Yeah.
Yes,
Please open a new window. Can you open a new tab?
open a new window itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you just put in www.sap.com, please? Can you try to log in? Onto the right top of your screen, there is a person icon. Yeah. Have you ever any time registered with the
Yeah,
account
yes,
email?
yes. Yeah, yesterday
Try
I opened
logging.
that.
Yeah, try logging in.
Actually, in the office, it's going round and round and round. Nothing more than that. I'm stuck over here itself only. If I'm at home, it is working. Over here, the net is that much slow. It is not working.
Yeah, we do understand that you being in office, the network is shared.
Yeah, there's a network issue, I think.
Jerem, your hand is raised. You can just unmute yourself and ask the question. Is it something that you're trying to say?
Hello?
Yes, Jerem.
Can I share my screen once?
Okay. Meanwhile, your screen gets loaded, Anurag. We'll continue with the Jairam's issue.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is available.
Business Application Studio.
Okay. Can you try to go to your trial account, please?
Yeah. A trial account.
Yeah,
What
there
are
is a no. Okay, try from here. I
yeah,
would
this
request you to
one.
open it into the Chrome. You can directly copy this URL and paste it over into your browser also, no problem.
Okay.
Going further, whenever we are opening the Business Application Studio, make sure you're running it into the Chrome.
Okay, definitely.
Have you by any chance can you, instead of using the P user, can you try to use your email ID please in that place?
Okay.
If you are having multiple accounts related to your SAP, just try to map it under one universal ID. You know what does the universal ID does is it just lists out all the accounts associated with SAP, and you can navigate further using the one which you are trying to use.
Okay. I think I have used.
Anurag, what is the status? Is it loading for you? Are you still onto the
Uh,
same page?
yeah, I'm still on the same page. It's only going round, round, round.
Maybe we will see Anurag's last part of it. Anurag, okay, we'll take it last 10 minutes. So last 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, sure. If I get it, surely I will connect with you. Otherwise, from Monday, I will take it from home and try from there itself.
Yeah, yeah.
Just check onto the terms and condition checkbox. Accept them.
Yeah. This one, DB.
The requested page could not be opened because the target trial account does not exist or is no longer active. Okay, they can't find your global account.
Actually, in this I had used new number, new phone number.
Okay,
I used
can you
this
just
one.
go on to the same page, please? The one which you have opened. It is
In
opening over here, right?
Chrome. Yeah, it is opening here. Actually, I had used a new phone number here. That's why it is opening. And the steps.
I think the email ID associated with that also would be different.
Yeah. Yes. Can I
No problem.
continue here?
Yeah, yeah, you can
Sub
continue,
accounts.
no problem. Just
This
click
one
onto the
reason.
trial.
Create space.
No, you don't have to create a space. A space by default will be created when an account is created. Okay, so if you
Okay.
scroll down, can you just scroll down? See, there is one dev space which already exists for your Cloud Foundry environment. Now you have to go to the left panel, the services, the instances and subscription, the second option.
Okay. Services and instances and
Services, instances and
subscription. Okay.
subscription. Launch your business applications from here. If you want to click onto the application where a blue color highlight is there, that is also okay. Or if you want to navigate it onto the right, you have that arrow, click that arrow.
Okay.
Okay, from here also you'll have the option of go to application.
Go to application. Okay.
Okay, you can click it from here also.
Okay. Done.
Now click on OK.
Create dev space. This is SAP Fiori only.
Yeah, we can go with the Fiori or any other applications. If you want to go with, you can go with. It is up to your requirement, and whatever the skills that you have, you can switch on to the dev spaces that you're willing to work with.
And additional SAP extensions.
That can be added later on also. See, there are two types.
Okay.
One is a predefined, which is by default available, and if you want to enhance or have some of the additions to your one, you can also do that.
Okay. I think it is starting.
Is everyone able to land onto this page from your sub accounts? Please raise your hand, that will be helpful for us.
Can I stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, you can stop sharing the screen.
Thank you.
Anurag, maybe you have to wait, till the things get sorted on your part, because internet is one of the prerequisite that we have.
Yes, I know that thing. What can I do?
That's
I
understandable.
think sometime we have to clear our cache memory for continuing this actually software.
Okay, if
Okay.
that is the case, can you just try to open it into the incognito mode? There we don't have any issues of your caches and all, right?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
sure, sure.
Just try launching the same onto your incognito
Yeah,
mode.
yeah, sure. I'm sharing my screen also.
Yes, you can. For the rest of the people who have not raised a hand, Aditya, Ajay, Ajit, Galala, Naveen, Jairam, Lahari, what is the status, people? Is it like not available for you? Because if we start exploring the system, we have to have that in place.
For Indigo, also the same issue.
What is that?
It's not the same issue. It is not opening over here itself.
Can you please update your Chrome? The right side, right on top side, and there is a update option, right? Relaunch and update the Chrome. Yeah.
No, it's not opening. It's still the same.
Guys, others are also facing the same issue. We can spend some
Yeah,
more time. Oh man, okay.
I think we will connect you separately instead of the entire team.
Yeah, that
If
would
you
be
have it,
nice.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I mean we can take it up with the first with the booster first, and then probably we'll move to the CLI side of it because the other team members are waiting, right? So
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
yes, it's visible.
Now, if you want to go to some kind of a service which is available into the marketplace, let's say I want to go to the automation. But it is deprecated. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's go to the boosters. I think we can go to another service also. Let me search for them. Okay, now there are two services that we want to open. 1 minute. Now boosters are kind of add-ons that are available for you. Okay, even they help you with the additional resources and components that is available. Now look at this. What is it? It is a kind of a workflow management setup for your account. Now when I go with your workflow management, have you heard about the workflow earlier? Anyone? Okay, so what is a workflow? Someone said that they have heard about the workflow.
So it's the process of getting a work done through different people or stakeholders. So it could be approval process, it could be sequential activities uh, controlled by multiple people, maybe in hierarchy or uh, teammates.
In layman terms, just let's say it is a sequential execution of steps, right?
Yeah.
Where we have some of the rules defined, we have some of the processes defined, or some of the approvals defined. Let's say, let's take a normal workflow for your leave approval. How does it flows? There are two people who comes in picture, right? One is your manager, and one is you. You being an employee, you request to the manager. The request goes via requester process, and then once it is approved, it goes to the system, and then you are enabled with a leave. That is a normal workflow that you have for a leave approval. Similarly, when you're working on some kind of a workflow, we have this workflow over here. Now whenever you are working on to the workflow management, we have many things. One is where we have a business rules, one is your process visibility, one is your workflow service, one is your workflow management. Okay, there are certain other subscriptions, or let's say these are some of the prerequisites that are required. But when I wanted to do lot of services enabled for me, what I'll be doing, I'll be running a booster. Okay, when I do the booster run, what will do is it will set up all the required roles for me under the same setup. Okay, now let's say I am going to the destination. Destination is basically a point into your BTP cockpit where you can have multiple sources running for you. Okay, it is basically pointing out to your any of the external remote systems which you are planning to consume the data from. Okay, now here if I run the booster, what it is doing, it is checking the authorization, it is doing the next step. Now you configure your account, it will ask me what are the entitlements. Now if I am running a booster, what it is giving me, it is running all the services in a one go. Basically it is what, it is a multiple service subscription at one time. Okay, I am just trying to subscribe it for my this account.
And this is a free one, right?
Yeah, this is a free one.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go with the next. Okay, now what is a sub account? This is a professor's RSA. The organization for me is this one, and this is the space. Okay, now this is what space? Is it a cloud foundry space, or is it a business application studio dev space? What kind of a space it is? Anyone? What kind of a space is it?
Cloud
Sub
foundry
account.
space.
What is it?
Workspace.
Cloud foundry
It's
space.
okay. It is a cloud foundry space. Okay, and if you are skeptical about this, what you can say is this space you will be able to find it under your cloud foundry, under your spaces. Okay, I can have multiple spaces onto my cloud foundry. Okay, let me show you that one. Okay, so this is the space that it is pointing out to, dev space. But as of now there are no applications under my dev space, so it will be onto this. But the name, okay, the name is dev. Just finish this. Now what it is doing, it is assigning the quota, it is subscribing to software as a service. Okay, now what kind of a software it is, we'll see this. Let this complete process be done.
Could you please explain once again what a booster is exactly?
Booster is a kind of a multiple services subscription at a time.
Okay.
Or in case if you're missing any kind of a role, what you can do is you can just run the booster once. It will try to align the configurations in place,
Okay. All right.
and it is available at your global account.
Yeah. Okay.
It will take some time. Meanwhile, you can also try it in your systems because your systems are ready with this, right? Just try running the booster for your own systems.
In my sub account which I have created, when I'm trying to search in the service marketplace the booster, I don't see anything.
Vishal, it is on to the global account. Would you please share
Global
your
account.
screen?
Okay, let me try in global.
Are you able to find it, Vishal?
In global, yes, I see a booster and then
Could you use a search tab that is available? Yeah. Just type it workflow. Here you go.
yeah.
And in case if you're willing to see what are the additional resources available for this booster, there is a additional tab also for the additional resources, and there you have a components. See, there are a lot of journeys also that are available, like how the business rules are available, what are the services that you can define, and all those things.
Vishal, can you go to the components?
Yeah.
So all these services will be enabled. Okay, when you run this booster, these services will be enabled at the same time. If it requires any kind of spaces, sub account, or even the rules assignment, it will be happening behind the scenes. You just need to run the booster and the workflow management service along which contains all this. Everything would be ready along with the role assignment, and you just need to start working on it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the idea of booster.
So basically, minimum viable, all the components, services, roles, and everything will be done at once through this booster.
Yeah, just in a single click. You are right.
On a single click. Correct. Okay.
Here we have multiple services, so it is taking some more time.
Yeah, correct.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Uh,
Nilanjan, right?
yeah, yeah. Can I share my screen? Actually, I can't find the booster in my BTP.
Yeah,
So,
please.
can you see my screen right now?
Can you just go on to your trial home, please?
Trial home,
On
yeah.
to your right, you have a home like icon, and you have a trial home.
Just about the sub accounts.
Yeah,
Sub account is there, right? On top of it, we have trial home.
there
No,
is a
no,
crumble. See, trial
right
home
side.
slash 63B7182.
Yeah, about to that.
Above that.
Okay, the overview service cloud foundry, that things, right? Oh,
That's
trial
onto
home.
the left panel,
Oh, trial
Yeah,
Nilanjan.
yeah.
trial
Trial home.
home. Mm,
See, one more thing that you are able to see over here was that he was an active user. So he got another 30 days extension, which we have discussed yesterday, that everyone can subscribe for it for the 90 days duration, right? Even if you log in and if you're an active user, it will get renewed before your trial period of 30 days. It is divided into 30, 30, 30. The moment you log in, it will try to subscribe for the addition of 30 days. But that is related to your cockpit, not to your dev space. Your dev spaces will delete all your work after 30 days if you are inactive. Okay.
That is the booster I have found, right? Thanks. Thank you. And after that, I have to
Search for workflow.
workflow.
Here you go. At the bottom, you're able to see it, right?
Set up account for workflow management.
1 minute. You see, it is a part of your workflow automation process. It is also return automatically setup of a workflow, business rule and process visibility services. So how many services we are running? We are running multiple. Okay. So it will be done on the start of your management, workflow management subscription.
Yes.
Let me check.
Can I stop my sharing?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we have 96 services. So for each and every service, we will have a booster, or like how we need to know that, because there are limited amount of boosters that can be seen. How we will know that if we want this service, then we need to run this booster?
Okay, so first thing is, where do you find what kind of a service do you need?
The
That
dev
will,
center.
what is it, Aditya? You'll be able to find it into the discovery center, right?
Yes, discovery center.
Now, once you go to your discovery center, you will have some of the resources required. 1 minute, let me try to share my screen. Okay. Now I wanted to subscribe for the services. So I'll go to the service catalog. Okay, now what is the service that I am opting for? That is a workflow. Okay, now this workflow management is retiring soon. Instead of that, something else will come. But when I go with this, I would have the customer stories. Now, if any of the customer stories fit in, okay, let's say if I am just designing the workflow, initially I had a ABAP workflow which was running onto the system. Now I had a migration onto S4 HANA system. Now with this S4 HANA system, I wanted to do it onto the cloud, right? In S4 HANA systems also, you would have two variants. One is onto your cloud, one is onto the on-prem. Depending onto your use case, depending onto your requirements, you can go to your digital process automation, right? There are many verticals that you have onto your BTP. 1 minute. Okay, now if I am going with the intelligent technologies, what I needed, if I want to include a bot in my process, if I want to have some of the processes predefined, let's say a leave request approval is something, whenever it is requested, it should go to some process, and once it is done, I want to do it based on to certain rules. So where can I define those rules? I can define those rules under your business rules. Here, when you go with this, 1 minute, I think creating service instance is failing. For me, it is failing. Let me try to rerun this.
One successful, where do we see it? It would be
Okay,
under
you're
sub
able to
account.
see it successfully, right?
Yeah, but I don't. But I'm still on the same screen. It says setup account. Yeah, I landed on this page, but the message
Can you
was
just
successful.
share your screen, Vishal? Okay, your booster was successfully running, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you just go back to your sub account level, please?
Yeah.
Click on one more time onto your trial environment. Go to your trial. Not that, the trial sub account. Inside that you have a tile. Below.
This one.
Yes, yes, this
Oh,
one.
okay. The trial. Sorry. Yeah.
Can you just go to instances and subscription, please? Onto the left palette.
It,
Here, now because
yeah.
your workflow booster was done, earlier you just had a business application studio. Now you have a build work zone and the workflow management. So if you want to launch workflow management, which is software as a service. So what you can do is you can either click onto this blue link or navigate
Yeah.
it via the arrow, which is onto the right side. Yeah, click that.
Click to slow. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, now what you see is you see one of the prominent applications, that is a my inbox. This is one of the application where all of the requests will come in case if
Yeah.
you're planning to use that. Okay, you can have this automated also into your launchpad. You need certain prerequisites and the configuration, but how will you define it? You have to define it into the manage rule projects. Can you click on to that, please? Just scroll down into the development tools. Yes, there. Here what you can do is you can manage certain rules. Okay, now these rules are nothing but your artifacts. What you can say is let's say these are some of the conditions. You can even maintain a data at this level. Now what is the project? For me, project is a kind of a application module which I can integrate into the rules. All I have to do is I have to first build that onto the plus. Can you create that onto your right side, please? Yes. Okay, here what I have is, just hold on Vishal for a minute. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now here what you have is there are different artifacts which will be available at different levels. Okay,
Okay.
now first is your basic details of your project. Now you have, can you just try to name something, let's say employee leave. Okay, just put some kind of a label over there. Okay, now here look at the system. Okay, just scroll it down. Here you have a system, whether you want to do it onto your cloud runtime, whether you want to do it onto some of the system. Let's say basic idea behind your leave approval request is where the request is coming from your employee that exists onto the success factor. Let's say these are the employees that are under your employee as a category as permanent, whether they are from a contract or whether they are from C to H. These conditions would be defined into your success factor systems, right? If you want to have multiple systems listed over here, what you can do is you can switch back to your connections option. Okay, sorry, the connectivity option. Connectivity, just stay onto the screen and go back to your main trial account. Don't close this window. Don't close this window. Just move on to your first tab. Okay, here what you have is a connectivity option. Don't do anything, just go to the connectivity onto the left palette. Here you have a destinations. Click that. Okay, just hold on here. Now what happened is when I run the booster, initially if I would have manually created that instances, that destinations, it would have taken a lot of time, right? But just because I am running this, okay, it is defined once your booster is successfully run. Now if you look at the processes, can you just scroll down? Just scroll down. Just scroll down. Okay, now here you have a business rules. You will have your business rules API. Okay, now this API is pointing out to the api.sap.com. You see, this is an external system which we discussed on to the first day, that we can also connect it to the external system. And if you want to check whether your connection is successful or not, what you can do is beside a delete bin, you have a connector like icon. Yeah, click that. Okay, now what it is saying, it is saying connection to the business rule API is established. Okay, now this establishment is done. Now what it means, now if this business rules API is available, what you can do is you can even check this business rules API is available onto your apihub.com. Can you open a new tab? New tab itself, Vishal. Yeah, just open API Hub. Not that one. API Hub SAP, just type in. These are another APIs. Yeah. API.sap.com. Here you have a business rules defined. Can you just go to the business rules? Just search business rules over here. Onto your search, there is the search. See here, it is saying what? It is related to the process automations.
Process automation, yeah.
Right, so you can even include this component, but this component is readily available for you to consume because you have run a booster. Okay, now can you just go to come again?
Do I need to log in?
You can log in and you can establish the connection, but as of now I won't be logging into the system. Okay, this is just to show you that where is it available, under which category, under which product it is available for you for the consumption.
Yeah.
Now can you just go back again to your business rules, which is the third tab. Okay, just scroll it down. Okay, reference currency is not required. Just try to save it. Okay, now the project is saved. Now, if you want to validate this, it will show you some errors. Just try to validate it. Now this says validation is successful. It is an empty skeleton. Now go to your data objects. Here, what you can do is you can include the data objects. Now data objects could be your tables, it could be your entities also. Okay. Now here you
Is it
have
similar to
attributes.
container in workflow, or is it different? And so, I mean, in conventional workflow, we used to have a containers, then that used to hold all the data, like
Yeah, so
sort of number.
here in this particular business rules, right, it's a different tenant in BTP. Okay,
Okay.
so so this is a business rules. Here we define the input and the output, and we can also configure the business or the workflow also. So once these rules are applied, right, if we have any kind of approval level, okay, we can always define that as well. Okay, so just to answer your question, here we have a different tenant altogether.
Okay.
Okay, and BR is a different tenant inside the BTP. So it is not in
Yeah.
a cloud foundry, or you cannot say inside the HANA space of it. But this is a different tenant in which the data is going to be stored. So whatever your decision tables are going to be created, it is going to be created here itself.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got you. Yeah.
Okay.
This is in cloud basically. So we used to create those decision table like a normal Z table in
Yes.
database, then use it in a normal workflow. So this is a cloud version of it.
Yeah, this is a cloud version of it, and they call it as a tenant. Okay, so it's a different tenant. Yeah, behind the scenes, even we don't know, right, how SAP is going to stir, because it's not been
Yeah.
available in any of the documents because it's in cloud. But yeah, they said it's a different tenant, and we can store all the decision tables inside this tenant.
Okay. So
Now
we
if
can
you
have
want,
objects and attributes just like table and fields.
okay, now what could be when you're doing it with the employee leave request, what could be the possible data objects?
It could be a type of a leave and dates and
For a person to request a leave, what he has to be? He has to be an employee, right?
employee. Yeah.
So you can
Correct.
say that I want to include an employee name. You can say that I want to include a employee ID. Now it could
And
be of a type structure. Okay. Now it could be of a type table also. Okay. If you scroll it onto the type, it could be a table, it could be an element. If I want to go with a bulk, okay, where multiple condition needs to be validated. Let's say if it is an employee condition is not meeting the requirement, I have to validate what kind of an employee it is, whether it is a permanent employee, whether it is a C2H employee. That kind of a table structures can also be maintained. Now if you go with a table, what it will do, scroll it down.
type change.
Okay, it will include multiple objects, the parameters,
Yeah.
right? You can include one by one each of them, and you can give it a try. Where maintain it via table also. If you are trying to maintain it via condition, there is a option also where you can include. Can you just scroll it down?
Annotation is the last one.
Maybe can you just go back? Can you just go to the parameters section?
Okay. Yeah.
Just try that parameter.
I think we need to enter this first.
First try to enter that. You have to make sure whether you are doing it with a table or if you're doing with a structure.
Yeah. Name can have space.
You can include the spaces also over there. If you have a doubt whether it is valid or not, there is a first is you have to activate that and then you have to include it. But you don't have a data reference object. If you don't have a data reference object, try to do it with a structure also. Just say it as a none.
This is non-editable.
Yeah, that will gray out.
Save.
Save it. Okay, now if you try to validate that,
Okay, now it is asking attribute.
okay, now it is asking you for an attribute. You have to edit it and add one attribute at least.
Association. Attribute. This attribute or simple attribute? Simple attribute.
You can just add simple attribute. Okay, now what is the attribute that you want to add? What is the label, description, and type also can be included.
I will do it. It's a number. Numeric. Thing.
Guys, I hope you know all of you are following the business rules, how we can configure it. Okay. Who is sharing this screen?
Vishal,
Vishal.
I think.
Yeah, Vishal, maybe you know okay, there is sufficient, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are not deep diving in this particular topic.
The
Yeah.
process automation we have to work on, but there are certain blogs which I'll share. You can even try out this one. If you want to define the business rules of your own, you can define that. This is just to show you how the boosters are running.
Yeah.
I understand. We're not delivering this to any client. So.
Okay, can you just go on to the manage rules project once? I'll just will just switch back and then you can just select this one. Different versions will also be available. Onto your right side, the gear option is there. Yeah, click that. Okay, now can you just go with the revisions? Just go with the IDs. Just go with the ID. Just ID, and that's it. Just go with a save. Okay, now here you have this ID. Now this ID needs to be used where you are trying to consume this rule. Okay, so there is a blog which you can use for the further exploration. You can use that blog. I'll share you that blog. You can do it on your own. It is a proper detailed blog which can be used. The main intention over here was to show you how the boosters are running and how this will help you to automate the process even inside your BTP. Earlier, if I tried to do it one by one, it would have taken a lot of time for me. But just because I'm running a booster, it will be a smooth process.
Sometimes people yeah, you can start the booster, you can have your cup of coffee or tea, right? And once you're back, all the services and environment is ready. Okay. Yeah.
beauty of automation.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Fine. Okay. And yeah, this ID we can consume to use the business rules. Okay. And the business rule service, it's the replacement of BRF plus what we used to have in SAP
About
on-premise
to ask.
side of it.
Yeah, correct, correct. So
Yeah.
I've seen BRF plus in the past, and this was very similar to that business rule framework. So I was
Yes.
about to ask.
Yes. Yes. It is exactly similar part of it. Okay. And I have not worked on BRF plus, but yes, I have done multiple projects for the customer and business rules service itself.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but it's fine.
Yeah, 16 out of 28.
No,
Yes.
I'm able to log in. Yeah, I'm able to log into SAP.com. Anurag here.
Super. And you are able to also connect to the business application studio, Anurag?
No, what she told her, you just go through the SAP.com. I'm logging to
Okay.
SAP.com.
Okay. Okay. I think I already sent link yesterday. So if you have it handy, okay, maybe you can check it out. It will give you a
So,
step by step how to log into BTP as well. BTP BS
yeah,
as well.
at that day I log into BTP SAP. It was possible over there. So can you
Mhm.
share the link again, because it is in a previous thing. It is not showing over here right now. That link I checked in the chat itself.
I will share it. I'll share it. Yeah, I'm sharing the link with you in this chat. Just give me a minute. Yeah, here you go, Anurag. Okay, fine. Guys, hope you are back now. Okay, it's high time. Probably we need to start it. Okay. Um, so please, you know, lower your hands. Okay, so we will come to know. Okay. So we have demonstrated the boosters. Okay, so how we can apply the boosters, why boosters can be utilized, right? It would speed up the operations. And see, if you are going with the trial account, if you want to try it out, right, booster would be really helpful. But in proper organizations, right, uh, generally big organizations or customers would try to avoid the boosters because they are having multiple sub accounts and they need to configure the services into specific sub accounts. Okay, so when you try to go with the booster probably will create a new sub accounts and a new space. Okay, and so for learning purpose, even for small clients, okay, when you don't have much things, okay, the booster would be helpful. But when you go ahead with the large client, okay, client will try to client will try to use the services, enable it, configure it manually, and will give the assignments manually. Okay, so because in one sub account and spaces, if you would like to add the multiple services and give specific authorizations to the user, boosters can be avoided at that moment. Because okay, in boosters we don't, in single click everything is getting done. Okay, but if you won't like to use the existing sub accounts or maybe space and need to give access to some particular users, people would prefer manually couple of times. Okay, so that is the things. Okay, any questions on posters team? Okay, or any question on the business rules also? We'll take a pause and probably we'll start with the next topics then. Okay, fine. Now we will start with the new topic. I hope you can see my screen, right, guys?
Yes, it's moving. Yes.
Yeah, fine. I'll close this part. I'll close this part. Okay. Okay, so we are starting with the new environment. Okay, which we wanted to do it. And as part of new environment, okay, how it is going to help us. Okay, so new environment, why we are studying. Okay, when I'm saying, it's people are SAP is getting away with that one, but there are so many investment even current customers might have done in neo, and there are so many services are also running in the new environment. That is the reason we are learning the new environment. Okay, and we then gradually we will move from new environment to Cloud Foundry. Okay, and what is the combinations of it, what is the pros and cons of it. Okay, and then we'll move to the ABAP environment, and we'll move to the Kima as well. Okay, so this is how we can move it. Okay, so see, if you see my screen, right? So this is a architecture diagram how the data is getting flowing between the new and the on-premise systems. Okay, here we have the person is probably trying to use the Fiori applications. It is being connected to the new environment. This is the BTP what we have. Inside the BTP we have a new environment. In new environment the HANA service is there, and we have a connectivity part of it. Okay, so HANA service, it is there since almost 2010, because the platform started with the HANA Cloud Platform. Okay, so HANA was there since beginning. Okay, and if you see, right, this is the internet and the connectivity service is there. We are using the cloud connector. Okay, the secure tunnel we have it. Okay, and we are using the on-premise. Okay, when we say on-premise, we can also try to leverage the HANA Studio also, and we can also try to leverage the HANA Cockpit, and it can be connected with the ECC also. Okay, so with the cloud connector, we can connect with the ECC. If you want to connect with the only HANA Studio with only HANA DB, okay, that is also possible. There are two objectives to showcase this particular diagram. One thing is, if we have a SAP ECC S4 HANA, we can connect with the cloud connector. And there are many organizations, they only and only use the HANA as a database, as a standalone, as a on-premise part of it. HANA as a database, as a on-premise, and they would try to build everything on HANA. That is also there. Okay, so there are many customers who are leveraging the HANA database extensively. Okay, so in that case, okay, we have a cloud connector. It can be connected to the HANA Studio and the HANA database as well, and we can create the services and we can deploy it over here. Okay, now coming back to the new environment. Okay, here why Neo is there. So BTP, the new environment is the enterprise platform as a service that provides the comprehensive application development service and capabilities on which we can build applications, we can extend it, and which we can also integrate it with the business application. Okay, so we have a okay, let me go to the earlier days. Okay, so when we have the Fiori applications running inside the new environment, so at that moment we can create the Fiori application inside the HANA Studio. Okay, very first it was the HANA Studio was there, and we can deploy all our things to the new environment, and so we can create the services, create the applications, we can integrate with the HANA database, and we can deploy inside the new environment. Okay, which we can build, extend also existing part of it, and integrate with the business applications. Okay, so if we need to extend the on-premise and cloud solutions, right? So even in new environment, okay, if you go with the ECC or S4 HANA, okay, ECC S4 HANA, it's part of Fiori library. Okay, we are having a lot of tons of Fiori applications by default offering by the SAP itself. Okay, so we can get the applications from the on-premise, okay, or we can build. Okay, if it is already existing applications, we can open it applications, we can extend it, we can check it out what are the extensions points are available. Okay, and we can make the adjustment and we can deploy it. So add extensions of the existing solutions, creation of new solutions, and we can deploy to the neo also, and we can also deploy the same applications to the on-premise also, on-premise gateway systems. Okay, and yes, okay, and if we have a combinations of on-premise and cloud, we can, that is also possible with the new environment. It was there earlier. Okay, so we can connect the multiple systems with the connectivity service, we can get the data, we can process the data, and we can deploy the applications, and we can have the solutions with having the multiple different systems. Okay, fine. And the new environments, it is a native environment or the platform, okay, of the SAP proprietary part of it, which lets you develop the HTML5, Java, SAP HANA Extended Application Services. Okay, because when we say SAP UI5, okay, the Fiori applications which is having the library of SAP UI5, and SAP UI5 itself is based on the HTML5. So we can build all these kind of applications and which we can create it, extend it, and deploy it to the new environment. Okay, and solution is made of various applications types, configurations created with the different technologies, right? Okay, and how are we going to migrate our applications from one sub account, let's say from development to quality to and quality to pre-prod of it, guys? How can we do that? Guys, how can we migrate our code from one environment to another environment, development to quality? Sorry?
Transport requests.
Transport management.
Transport request, right? Okay, fine. So when we have the new environment, it only deals with the BTP deployment and the on-premise deployment. And we all are aware that if we want to deploy our codes to the on-premise deployment, in that case, we need a transport request. And whatever the code, what we have, whatever the applications, what we have built it, we have to deploy it inside the gateway systems, right? So the TR will be created, okay, and we can also the TR will be created and we can deploy to the gateway systems. Okay, similar way, okay, in that case, if you are deploying onto the gateway systems, the transport movement will happen from backend to backend, the gateway to gateway. Okay, so if we have GD systems, okay, then we will have a GQ system, GD to GQ, the applications will be migrated. And if you have the dev systems, okay, in that case, dev to quality in the backend, the data movement and the gateway services movement will be happening. Okay, however, when I'm saying this one, when you go to Discovery Center, okay, I will just try to showcase. When you go to Discovery Center here, we do have, okay, cloud transport management application service is also there. Okay, so when we open this one, okay, so if we want to move our cloud code, when I say cloud code, right, I mean Fiori plus CAPM code, okay, from one sub accounts to another sub accounts, development to quality, we can move it with the help of this service. And this is not the only way by which we can make it happen. Okay, we do have the we can have the Git repository, we can have the Azure repository, okay, and we can use the pipeline to move the code from one sub accounts to another sub accounts. But SAP is providing one of the service which we can try to leverage. Okay, so this is about the new environment, how we can deploy the code, what is possibility of it, and how we can migrate the code also. Any questions? Okay, fine. In that case, before jumping to the Cloud Foundry, maybe I'll take up the ABAP environment first.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions, guys? Okay. Fine then. Okay. So guys, we already talked a lot about the ABAP environment, right? So, but I'll touch upon this point one more time. Okay. So it started with the 2017 ABAP environment, and SAP felt that that is a high requirement that the ABAP developers needs to go do code inside the cloud, because heavy coding we have inside the on-premise system of it. So ABAP environments runs inside the HANA database itself, and it comes with the two kinds of concepts inside the ABAP environment. One is the managed access and unmanaged objects. Okay, managed objects and unmanaged objects, and it does provide the frameworks to create the objects inside the ABAP environment. Okay, and if you would like to connect with the HANA database which is on cloud, and HANA database which is on premise side of it, as for HANA or maybe ECC in HANA. Okay, we can also directly connect with the database. We can we can create the objects in such a way, and we can create the ABAP CDS views which we can talk to each other. Okay, and as we already discussed about the S/4HANA Cloud, right? So use cases of ABAP environment will be for, like this one, right? So if you want to create the extensions, okay, in S/4HANA Cloud, the extensions are not permittable, okay, and you cannot by default based on the it's restrictions from the environment itself, the infrastructure itself, okay, because it's a limited part of it. Okay, so if you, I'm talking about the cloud side of it, okay, for HANA Cloud. So if you can create all your extensions, all your custom coding inside the ABAP environment, you can connect with the S/4HANA Cloud. Okay, S/4HANA Cloud, we can have couple of data services by default available, and if you would like to create the new data services inside the S/4HANA Cloud, that is also there, but we need to try to limit the any kind of custom development inside the S/4HANA Cloud. Okay, even it's permissible, which is along with coming with a lot of restrictions. Okay, yeah. And ABAP environment share the same kind of foundations with the S/4HANA Cloud. Okay, and S/4HANA Clouds can be leveraged. Okay, it is a part of the S/4HANA Cloud side of it. It can be a public cloud. Okay, it can be a private cloud, and it can be a hybrid also. Okay, so it comes with a couple of options, and in any of the cases, okay, we need to there is a we need to limit our any kind of development inside the S/4HANA Cloud. Okay, and as you all know, right, the programming model will be ABAP RESTful applications programming is going to be there. Okay, so yeah, we are not going to deep dive further from the ABAP environment. If any questions, I will take a pause and probably will take it up with the Cloud Foundry part of it.
Chintan, Brajesh here.
Yeah, Brajesh.
Yeah, Chintan, are we going to have practical on this all environment, or how actually it will be?
See, we are going to have like practicals on the Cloud Foundry environment, Brajesh. Okay. The Neo, I think the team is might have done it. Cloud Foundry, we are going to deep dive completely. Okay. ABAP, it's not part of syllabus. Okay, and Kima is also we are not as part of the agreed content. It is not there. Okay. Yeah. See, because environment are different. Okay, the coding would be same. Okay, even if you go with the CAPM programming model, right, the coding would be, applications would be same. The team is already about aware of the Fiori applications. Okay, so that is one of the reasons that is not part of the our current syllabus, the Fiori applications. Okay, but CAPM programming model, we have it, Rajesh. Okay, and the similar concept as part of the development, whatever we are going to do any kind of CAPM programming, instead of inside the Cloud Foundry, we can do the same thing inside the Kima part of it. For Kima, we need to do a different kind of setup for the infrastructure setup, because Kima comes with the Kubernetes and we need to install the setup, so separately we need to do some kind of configurations. Okay, but the CAPM programming would remain same. So the programming is not going to change, and the focus is more on the programming side of it.
Will we not touch base on anything related to Fiori applications, or can we have maybe an hour or two allocated for that? Is that possible?
if majority of people, people are getting agreed, we don't mind to take one sessions on Fiori part of it, that we can do it, Swapnil. Okay. Yeah. Because see, basically in a nutshell, it is also inside the business application studio, and the setups are ready. It should not take more time. Okay, we can try out with any kind of Git repository also, and we can make it happen. And we can also try to showcase something on inside the with the template driven applications also, which we can make it happen quickly.
Okay, all right, yeah. Thanks. Because it's just that I have few questions around it, but unless we have some session, they are very much out of place for discussion.
Fine. If you have something, right, feel
Yeah.
free to share the questions to us. We will be able to answer. That is not a problem, Swapnil.
Okay, all right, then I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Fine. So maybe yeah, Vishal, you. Okay, fine. I'll take up the basic differences. Okay, the Neo and Cloud Foundry, and probably then we'll hand it over to the another part of it. So Neo is the SAP own proprietary. Okay, it is not the open source. That is the first thing. And Neo environment works only and only with the SAP data centers. When you select the Neo, or maybe if Neo has been selected, okay, you will not have any kind of option to select any of the other data center or the other regions also. That is not going to happen. Okay, because it's a proprietary of SAP. It runs only on SAP data center. It does have a limitations for the programming languages also. Okay, we have a HTML5, UI5, Java, HANA Access. Okay, and you cannot bring your own language. Okay, when I say own language, okay, you cannot work inside the Angular, React, Node.js. Okay, open any other language, Go, Python. It cannot support at all. So this is the difference between Neo and Cloud Foundry. And deep dive further, probably we are going to have it now. Maybe yeah, I mean you can take it up.
Okay. So before moving on to the Cloud Foundry structure, can anyone help me with understanding what is cloud native and what is cloud? Vishal, you still have a question around the same topic? Your hand is still raised. What
Yeah,
is
we
a
can
cloud?
move on. Yeah.
Okay. What is a cloud native and what is a cloud? Okay. So when I say the cloud native, okay, the applications are more modularized. They are basically lightly coupled, where your infrastructure is working onto your distributed computing architecture. Okay. So whenever your cloud native comes in picture, basically your cloud foundry is onto your cloud native structure. Okay. Now let's do one thing. First, let's log in into the Cloud Foundry. How can you log in into the Cloud Foundry? There are two ways. Either you log in via your terminal. Okay. Here, once you are onto your terminal, you can do it via CF login. Okay. Now, because I have already this URL, I have already logged into the Cloud Foundry space multiple times. I am able to get this API endpoint. Maybe you can try this simultaneously along with me. That would be a great help. Okay. Everyone is ready with your business application studios? Are you able to log into the Cloud Foundry? As soon as you log into your...
Just a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take a minute.
Yeah, I'm in Business Application Studio. Should I go inside? I mean, go to application or?
Can you open any of your dev space, Vishal, which you have created earlier?
Created, yeah.
It should be in a running stage to, open it.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, it's in running stage. I'll open it.
Can you share your screen, please?
Yeah,
Maybe because for me, it's already logged in. It is showing the API.
Sure.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so this is my dev space.
Onto your left palette, you have a double page like icon, right? Click that, Explorer.
Explore. Okay.
Yeah. Open a folder. Just go to the project sections, scroll it down, or just try start typing in projects. Open this. Don't open the entire folder structure. Just move till the path of projects, not even project 1.
Okay.
Remove that. Just click OK. Okay. Now there are two ways you can open up. Either you go to the file.
Yeah.
Below, above the Explorer, you have a file option. Vishal, onto the left palette.
Okay. Oh, the Explorer.
There are 3 lines.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, click that.
Yeah, file.
Go to your terminal from the last second option. The terminal.
Okay, the terminal, yeah.
Open a new terminal.
Okay. So from file, terminal, new terminal.
Okay, you can use CF login.
CF.
Yeah, which represents CF as in Cloud Foundry login. Now it is asking you for API endpoint, right? Now where you will be able to find this API endpoint, you have to switch on to your sub account level.
Yeah.
Click onto your sub account. Trial.
Okay.
Cloud Foundry. See here your environments would be listed. Okay. By default, your Cloud Foundry is enabled for you. If you switch on to your timer, see the second tab. Okay. It is not available for you. You have to enable it. Even if you enable it, it will take some time. You can start the process now also. Just leave it, just enable it.
It will take time and then.
Yeah. By the time we are ready, we can do that. Just go with the create.
Yeah.
Okay. Just put the endpoint over here. Allow.
It didn't
Not
copy.
this one.
No,
You just have to copy that URL.
Copy.
Others are able to log in.
Yeah.
Anyone is
enter?
Yes, enter. It will ask you for your email. Just type in your email. It will not show the password, okay?
Okay, yeah, it will be starts.
It will not even be starts.
Okay.
Start typing your password. Anyone able to? Yeah. Your user authentication has failed. Anyone else has logged in successfully? Please raise your hand in case you're able to log in successfully.
This is my domain password, right? The TCS password, or is it something else?
It is your password which you have used while creating this account.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me check that.
Everyone has logged in? Are you able to take that CF login?
For me, actually, the different screen is coming where that project has been selected. That is not coming for me, actually. So, can I share my screen?
Yes, please, Brajesh.
I'm here, actually. So,
Okay, so you have opened a search. You have opened a search palette, Brajesh. You have to open an Explorer palette, or either what you can do is go to the file.
Okay.
And then go to the terminal. Below the second last second option. Don't click on file, don't navigate. Just go with the new terminal.
This one.
Yes.
Okay. No.
Can you just do 1 minute? Hold on. You shouldn't be onto your .bin path, Brajesh. You should be onto your projects path. 1 minute. Just go to the file. Just go to the file. Click on file.
Yeah.
Then go to open folder. Just go back till the projects path.
I'm logged in successfully.
One more. Now click on OK. Okay. Now what you can do is you can right click even onto the projects and open it. Right click onto the projects. Just hold on. Just click it and open it in integrated terminal.
Yeah.
It will open a project one. You can do cd ...
Yeah, mine worked. Isha.
I'm not sure why it is opening projects path for you. Can you do CD projects only? Just do CD projects. Enter. Yes, enter. What is the structure that you opened, Brajesh?
Here, actually, right? This one.
It should open your project workspace. Can you just again go to your file? Open folder. Just write projects over here. And then just do OK.
Yeah, just enter. Yeah.
Just enter.
Yeah, I did.
Can you relaunch your Business Application Studio once, please? Just remove that ID from your
So here I should do file again.
Just try to open a folder. Open the folder. Scroll it down. Just move on to the projects. Click that.
Right.
And do just OK. Don't change anything.
Okay.
What is the kind of a dev space that you're using, Rajesh?
It's a Fiori actually, if you see. Yeah, here.
I'm not sure what is going on wrong.
I think
But
a
that's the
CD, he done CD dot dot, but CD space dot dot. It should be like that, I think.
There were two projects coming, right? So can you just navigate to one more project one and then try?
CD dot dot is basically it should take you to the earlier
No,
part.
But it is, it
Yeah,
I
should
clear
have
the
one
whole
think CD
space.
space dot dot.
CD dot dot.
It
Yeah,
is not
yeah, it
space.
is.
Now
Yeah,
it is
Yeah,
coming
now
into
I'm there
projects.
in
now it is
project.
working.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
same issue also.
Now
Yeah,
CF,
Just
Yeah,
right now CF login.
CF login. Yeah.
Yes. Now copy your endpoint from your sub account.
Yeah. Do right click and copy link. Allow.
Just allow. Type in your email which you have used it for creating the account.
Okay. This should be my
The password which you have used while you're creating the account.
okay. Same password I'm using, what I did actually.
Okay. If that is the case, there is an alternative which you can use for logging into the Cloud Foundry space. You see a gear-like icon onto your left side of your palette. Starting from the bottom.
Okay, this one, right?
Okay. Above that, you have a person icon. Above that, you have a 3 dots.
Yeah.
Click that 3 dots. You have a Cloud Foundry over there.
Yes. Should I click on this?
Yes, please click that. Okay, you have a services over here. Open that or expand that.
Yeah.
Login is required. Click on that.
Nothing is there. I click.
There is an arrow. You can close this get started.
Okay.
You can even close the terminal which is open at the bottom.
Okay.
Okay, now you open that again, login required. Okay, now see this URL which you are getting over here, endpoint as an endpoint. Is it matching with your endpoint which is already available under your sub account? Just confirm it once. It's a hyphen, right? You see US 10 hyphen 001 is the instance for your account.
Mm-hmm.
Just use that instance.
This one?
Yeah, copy this URL.
Should I paste here?
Remove this one existing one and then you paste the one which you have copied. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the one that is your actual URL. Now, just because you're having those credentials wrong, what you can do is you can go with the SSO passcode. There are two options. One is the credential, one is the SSO passcode. Click onto the SSO passcode. It will give you a one URL. Click onto that URL.
This one, right?
Yes. Just open that. Just go with the default identity provider, the first one. Just log in. If these are not the credentials that you have logged in, please change it.
Yeah, I'm changing. No, actually, I don't know. Password is same for me, what I have used. I need to check it actually. I don't know. Password is same what I have used. So.
Is it the same case with the rest of the people that they are not able to log in?
No, I have logged in.
Who is it who is
Vishal,
able to log in?
Vishal. I have logged in. So at that endpoint, I get a OK message when I put ID password. Shall I share my screen? Maybe we can.
Yeah.
Yes, you're already sharing your screen, I guess.
No, this is not mine.
Okay. Yeah, Vishal, you
Yeah,
can share.
now you can say.
Yeah, so here it says authenticating OK.
Okay. Now, can you just close that Get Started tab and just scroll this terminal above? Okay. Now, whenever you are able to successfully log into this, okay, whenever you are able to log into this endpoint or your Cloud Foundry login is successful, you will.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you have is a endpoint, the API version, and the user and the organization and the spaces. Now, whenever you have your Cloud Foundry, everything would be onto your organization and the space level. Okay. Now, if I want to see what are the services that are available onto the Cloud Foundry, so what I can do is I can just write in a CF marketplace.
Okay.
Just write in CF marketplace.
Another window?
No, the same window you can use in Vishal.
Which option?
Projects $sign, right? The terminal you are using right now. You can use the same terminal for CF marketplace.
Okay, CF.
Okay. Now what it is listing, it will basically list out all the services that are available under your Cloud Foundry. Now, because the Cloud Foundry is compatible with your 12-factor methodology. Okay. So what is a 12-factor methodology? 12-factor methodology will basically align you with certain commands. Okay. So 1 minute, let me share my screen.
So guys, everybody is able to log in to Cloud Foundry BS with the CLI?
Yes.
And I hope everybody is following the same. That is the reason, okay, even we can do by ourselves, but it will be much more faster because all the setups we already done it. Yeah, Aditya, you have some questions? Aditya?
No. I am able to log.
You're able to log in. And Okay, so we just want to make sure, whatever we are doing, okay, you can also follow the same thing, and that's the reason we are just trying to help somebody, right? That people will follow the step by step. So if he is getting some issues, okay, tentatively you are also getting the same issues, okay, so we can help you over there, right there. Okay, guys, are we good for a day? Guys, please speak up, right?
Yeah, Chintan, I think we are good. And I'm also
Yeah,
able to log in.
yeah, good, Manjari, good to hear that. Okay, so guys, please try it out. Okay, if any issues are there, okay, we can take it up. The 12 method factor, whatever we are going to start with the command lines further, right? Maybe we'll capture next time, right? In a coming day. And we don't want to start the chapter, okay, with the partial, because we already overshoot by 4 minutes. Does that sound good?
Yes.
That's that. Okay.
Yep. Great.
Fine.
I just want to
So,
make sure.
yeah, please.
Okay, if you are not even able to log in with a Cloud Foundry command line or via the terminal, what you can use you can use the graphical interface, which will help you to log in. If the credential is a problem, make sure you can even log in via your SSO. It just gives you, it's a kind of a OTP that will enable you for your login. So you can even use that one also if you're facing any kind of issues while you're logging via terminal. Okay, Chindan, you can take over.
Yeah, fine. Swapnil, we'll wait for your questions. Okay, so if we need to cover generally, right, we can cover generally. Otherwise, we'll answer back to you.
Okay, all right. Yeah, maybe I'll share those by Monday.
Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Guys, thank you all. Have a great day, great weekend. Have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you all. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Bye.
all. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.